What up, what up, what up? How are y'all doing? I'm doing great as usual. I just got done reading an article uh, on Mikey Garcia, and I've seen a lot of the ES News lives with Ellie Setback. He's always in the RGBA gym. He's in there every single day, and there was a few statements of Mikey Garcia is out of shape, and but he's back in the gym. So it got people wondering, why is Mikey in the gym? Does he have a fight? What's going on? He's been out of the ring for 11 months. Uh, Before the pandemic, and just before I get started, I'll just let you know that Mikey is one of my favorite fighters. So uh, I'm not gonna try to be biased or anything, but Mikey Garcia is one of my favorite fighters. I just like his style. I like his drive. He's a four-weight champion, and he wants to get that fifth in the 147-pound division. Even though his family does not think he should fight at 147. His first fight at 147, he got absolutely abused by Errol Spence. Spence was just too big for him, and Mikey didn't believe Errol Spence was that good of a boxer. But Mikey suffered his first defeat. He took his loss, and after that loss, people said, "All right, Mikey, you learned your lesson. Now you got to drop back down and weight." And the reason why I like Mikey Garcia so much is because he's a little bit stubborn. He said, "Nope, I want that fifth title. I'm going to stay at the 147-pound division, and let's get some fights." Well, he could have fought Porter, Thurman, Danny Garcia, and stick with the PBC. But what Mikey decided to do is take the $8 million payday and go fight on the zone. The problem with Mikey going to the zone is that they don't have any big 147 pounder, any big names at that division. So what he did is he jumped over real quick and fought Jesse Vargas, who's a big 147 pounder. He needed a bounce back fight, and by taking that fight, it got him a huge payday, and he got a win. He got a win at the 147-pound division, and not only a win, but he beat someone who's actually fought at 154, and he's a big 147 pounder and a decent fighter. Jesse Vargas isn't a bum. Mikey Garcia in that fight knocked Vargas down, beat him up a little bit, but ultimately it went to a decision, and Mikey got the decision. Well, since Mikey went to the DAZN and fought Jesse Vargas, uh, one of the sticking points to that contract is that for Mikey Garcia's next fight, DAZN has a chance to match any offers he gets from any other fight, promotional companies. So obviously Mikey's not going to fight anyone else on the zone for 147 pounders, because I don't think they even got any. Not any big names, at least. They got a couple in the UK that aren't really big names. DAZN, Eddie might convince Amir Khan to fight him. Kell Brook's not going to make 147 again. Plus, I think sometime at the end of this year, Kell Brook and Amir Khan are going to fight each other because they're both over the hill. They both are past their best. So Mikey Garcia is going to probably have to go to the PBC and try to get one of their fighters. And DAZN will have a chance to match whatever he gets offered by the PBC to fight either Porter, Danny Garcia, or Thurman. But Mikey's ultimate goal is to get a belt. Now, there's only 2 fighters out there that have belts. Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford. No, 3 fighters. I'm a bonehead. Manny Pacquiao had the WBA, and he got stripped by the WBA because the WBA didn't like the fact that Manny Pacquiao was talking about fighting Conor McGregor. Then he was talking about fighting Ryan Garcia. But after the Jesse Vargas and Mikey Garcia fight, right before the pandemic started, all this COVID stuff, Mikey Garcia and Manny Pacquiao were in serious talks. And it looked like they were real close to making that fight happen. Unfortunately, the only way you can make that fight happen was in the Middle East because Manny Pacquiao demands such a huge salary. I mean, we just saw what he said, what he wanted to fight Terrence Crawford, $40 million. And so we had that situation with Mikey and Manny Pacquiao. Maybe the Middle East, they were getting close to it being done, but then the pandemic hit. So that fight never happened, and then Manny Pacquiao started talking about McGregor, started talking about Ryan Garcia. At this point in Manny Pacquiao's career, I think he's just looking for a big payday. So eventually the WBA stripped him, and the WBA gave the title to the regular champion, Ugas. Now, that's Mikey's only real option because Spence just fought Mikey Garcia and beat him pretty badly. So he's not going to give him a rematch without a belt. And then you got Terrence Crawford, who has the WBO belt, and Terrence Crawford is promoted by Bob Arum in Top Rank. Well, there's an issue there. Mikey Garcia had a 2-year-long legal battle with Top Rank and Bob Arum. Mikey Garcia used to fight for Top Rank and Bob Arum. So Mikey wanted to get out of that old contract, and he eventually got out of it, but it cost him 2 years of his career, 2 years of lawyer fees, and all the other fees that comes with filing a lawsuit. So Mikey Garcia and Bob Arum do not get along, and he probably will not fight Terrence Crawford. It's almost a guarantee. So if Mikey wants a title, he's going to have to step up and fight Ugas. Now, he said he would fight Ugas, and he's actually kind of looking into that fight. So how can Mikey Garcia get that Ugas fight? Mikey Garcia is making, his last fight with the DAZN, he made about $8 million. So Mikey Garcia should go to Eddie Hearn and go, all right, Eddie, I want the Ugas fight. How do we get it? Eddie Hearn's going to tell him, Mikey, you're not going to get the Ugas fight. He's probably going to fight Spence. And keep all the belts on that side of the street. So Mikey Garcia, to get the Ugas fight, needs to do what Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn did in the past. You're going to have to overpay. You're going to have to overpay by a lot. So Ugas to fight Spence, if it's pay-per-view, Ugas is probably looking at $2 to $3 million. So what Mikey would probably have to do is say, all right, Eddie, you're going to give me $8 million for my next fight, or right around there. Or you can decide not to match my next fight. But how about this? Take the $8 million that I made my last fight and cut it in half. Give me 4 and give Ugas 4. That's probably more money than he'd make with the PBC. See if he jumps at it. If he doesn't jump at it, give him the higher percentage. Give him 4.5. I'll take 3.5. We'll do it on the zone. If I win, then I can have my potential rematch with Errol Spence Jr. if he doesn't decide to fight Crawford. So Mikey Garcia is kind of at a standstill because all he can do now is fight PBC fighters. Well, all those guys on the PBC side of the street is lost, except Spence. So Mikey Garcia versus Sean Porter, pay-per-view? Yeah, but I don't think Mikey could get $8 million out of that fight. Same thing with Danny Garcia. Same thing with Thurman. I mean, Keith Thurman and Manny Pacquiao only did 600,000 buys. So, one of my favorite fighters, Mikey Garcia, is at a standstill. And Mikey Garcia can't go down to 140. He could probably make that weight. But he can't go down to 140 because the two champions at 140 are about to fight each other. Guess what? Both of those fighters are top-ranked fighters. Josh Taylor and Jose Ramirez. Not only that, if Jose Ramirez beats Josh Taylor, Mikey Garcia and Jose Ramirez are stablemates. They will not fight each other. Unless it was some stupid amounts of money that they gave both of them. But even then, well, for one, the money wouldn't be that big. For two, Garcia and Ramirez would not fight each other. So the only chance of Mikey going that route is if Josh Taylor wins. But then again, top rank, Mikey Garcia don't like each other. So that fight is not going to happen. Now, can Mikey Garcia go down to 135? I highly doubt it. I think you'd have a better chance at jumping up to 154 and finding a fight there. But 135 is ridiculous. 154 is ridiculous. So what does Mikey Garcia do? Does he retire? It doesn't seem like he wants to retire because he's in the gym. Does he fight Porter, Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman on pay-per-view and see what the numbers do and get a percentage? Or does he cut his salary in half and throw it at Ugas and see what happens? That's the route I would take for Mikey. If he's confident. Obviously, I've never been in the ring. I'm not a boxer. Every time these guys go in the ring, they risk their lives. It's been shown over and over again throughout the years that when these fighters go in the ring, they should get every penny they deserve. But Mikey Garcia is running out of options. And I honestly don't know where he would go. Would he fight Manny Pacquiao for a big payday still in the Middle East? That's an option. It's a big name on Mikey's resume. Maybe that bumps him up the 147-pound division even more. But Mikey's goal is to be a 5 different weight class champion. And the only route I see him taking is Ugas. If he beats Ugas, maybe Spence will give him a rematch because it doesn't look like Spence and Crawford is going to happen anytime soon. So that's my thoughts on Mikey Garcia. I want to see him back in the ring. Like I said, he's one of my favorite fighters, and I still think he has a lot left in the tank. And I'm hoping he comes back soon. We just don't know where he's going to go. So, a couple of videos ago, I decided to do a little segment of maybe fights casual fans may have never seen that would entice them to the sport of boxing. I mean, in general, everybody likes boxing, but some people get sick and tired of it, of the big fights not happening. So, at the end of my videos, if I remember, because I did a video the other day and I forgot. But at the end of each video, I want to give you guys a fight to tune in and check out, and maybe get your excitement back up for the sport of boxing. And in this video, the fight I want to highlight is Floyd Mayweather's toughest opponent, according to himself and according to his father. That fighter goes by the name of Emmanuel Augustus. This guy is out of control. He's I don't really want to call him a journeyman because it's insulting, but he was a hell of a fighter, and he was an awkward fighter. And he's fought a bunch of people. I remember him fighting Mickey Ward, which was a heck of a fight. And I remember watching Emmanuel Augustus versus Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather. Not Money Mayweather. Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather. Back in the day. So the fight that I want you guys to go check out is Emmanuel Augustus versus Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather. So, thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe and also share. And I'll catch up with you soon. Morse House. Peace.